Quarter Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremiah Queen. And let's talk about what happened in week 10. Week 10 was incredible. It was exciting. It was a bunch of ups and downs. And let's be honest here. I usually do a lot of segments on my Monday's podcast episode, but I can't do a lot of segments. I just want to go straight 8 minutes, like the Herd, Colin Carhart, and just talk for a straight 8 minutes about the takeaways I had in the halfway point in the season. We could call it the halfway point takeaways or takeaways at the half. I like takeaways at the half. That one sounds a little bit better. But of course, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date when new videos drop on the channel. Also, listen to me on a podcast app like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or even Spotify. Go subscribe to the podcast. It'll be greatly appreciated. So let's get back to what I really want to talk about, and let's start with the Browns. The Browns beat the Ravens in a fashion to where, I thought even myself, I thought it was going to be a defensive ball game. We haven't really seen Deshaun Watson play good football at all of the season, and he didn't really play that good in this game. But when it came down to the second half, I think he was like 14 of 16, 14 of 17 going down the stretch in the last two quarters, and he made all the throws, and he even ran the ball effectively. He had early turnovers. He had a pick six to start the game off. It was literally the first touchdown of the afternoon window. I was watching Red Zone, and instantly the Baltimore Ravens were up 7 points. But to go down 31-17, this Browns team is very resilient, and this is why they're 6-3. They go down 31-17 at Baltimore, down 14 points. Deshaun Watson leads a drive, throws a touchdown pass to Elijah Moore, and then after he does that, your defense needs to get a stop. Lamar Jackson throws a ball, bounces off a guy's helmet, and Greg Newsome picks it off for a pick six, and then you would think, well, now it's 30, just get the extra point. Extra point is missed. So now it's 31-30. So throughout all this adversity, your defense is getting another stop. They get another stop. And then guess what? Deshaun Watson, they're paying you a lot of money in a fully guaranteed contract. Can you make the drive to go win the game in Baltimore? This is not in Cleveland. This is in Baltimore. And what does he do? He drives right down the field, bink, 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 gets a 13-yard run to put him in field goal range. The kicker gets the game winner to win the game 33-31. It was an amazing game. If you didn't watch it, go rewatch it. It was awesome. Go watch the highlights of the game. But the first thing I took away from this game is the Browns are serious. The Browns are 5-3 coming to this game. And I was like, the Browns have been, it's been a little bit more luck and really just outstanding historic defensive play than the Browns being a good team. But the Browns are a good team. We have to start putting recognition on the Browns' name. They are 6-3. They are third in the division at 6-3, with the Steelers being 6-3 as well, and then also the Baltimore Ravens being 7-3, and the Bengals being at 5-4. So let's talk about those Bengals. Well, how about we talk about the team that actually beat the Bengals, and that's the Texans. First off, the Texans quarterback, C.J. Stroud, MVP candidate. I said it, MVP candidate. He's second in the league in passing yards. Yes, a rookie is second in the league in passing yards. He also is averaging the most passing yards a game. Think about that. Oh, and also he has the highest TD to interception ratio at 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. C.J. Stroud is playing on a phenomenal level. We've seen good rookie quarterbacks. Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, who else? Baker Mayfield had 27 passing touchdowns. Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert statistically probably had one of the best rookie seasons at the quarterback position, but he was on the Chargers, and that was during the COVID year. So his offensive rookie of the year is kind of like not looked at as greatly as it should have been, but set all these rookie records, had 30-plus touchdowns. But it's not about Justin Herbert. It's about C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has just played phenomenal football, and they're only one game behind the Jaguars. Yes, my Jaguars. And it's scary to say that. Jacksonville actually lost to them in Jacksonville in week 2. Oh, no, in week 3, actually. It was week 3 in Jacksonville. And that's what, in my opinion, that was C.J. Stroud's coming out party. C.J. Stroud will get their first victory, and they've been on a tear. And DeMeco Ryans as a head coach, yes, I love to see what he's doing. The Texans is a rival of the Jaguars, and I still love to watch them play. They went at Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, had to get a game on the drive. A minute and 33 seconds left on the clock. So the previous week he did 46 seconds. So you thought if he got a minute 33, he wasn't going to get the job done? CJ Stroud, back-to-back game-winning drives. Now the question is, can he actually be an MVP, the first MVP since Jim Brown as a rookie in 1957? Yes, that's the 50s. That's how long it's been since the only rookie has won MVP, and that was a different type of NFL league. But I think if CJ Stroud could get this team to the playoffs and he keeps playing the way he's playing statistically, there'll be an issue if he can't be MVP. Let's talk about the Lions, the team that you could say is probably the best team in the NFL. You got your Chiefs fans, you got your Eagles fans. It's cool. It's cool. The Lions, they can win in a shootout. They can win a defensive battle. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They had over 500 yards of offense, 200 yards on the ground, 300 yards through the air, and they made light work of a Chargers defense that is probably overrated and overpaid, and their head coach is a defensive guy but couldn't stop anybody. And I love what Dan Campbell did at the end of the game. He didn't want to give the ball back to Justin Herbert because they couldn't stop the Chargers either. So what did Dan Campbell do on fourth down? He rolled the dice and made sure that his team was able to get to make sure that team did not touch the ball again and go to kick a field goal. Riley Patterson kicks the field goal to get to kick the game winner. This team is so electric. They have Pro Bowlers everywhere. David Montgomery had 100 yards. Jameer Gears is coming on strong, 2 touchdowns over 70 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown had over 100 yards. And Jared Goff, people, he was a castaway. Castaway. Sean McVay said, "You are not good enough to win a Super Bowl with. I'm going to go get Matthew Stafford." Sean McVay got what he wanted in the short term, but with the long term, it's cool he got that Super Bowl ring, but now the Rams look like hot garbage. It's hot garbage. And Matthew Stafford has been inconsistent with his health, just like he was when he was with Detroit. What did Jared Goff do? Go to Detroit in a situation that people didn't see ideal. People were trying to replace Jared Goff. No. They drafted Hendon Hooker in the later round, but I haven't heard his name since. I understand he was battling an injury his last year in Tennessee, but I haven't heard anything since from Hendon Hooker, and that's how good Jared Goff has been playing. He's been playing at MVP level. Put some respect to Jared Goff's name because his Lions are 7-2 with the second best record in the league and the second best record in the conference in NFC. They are, in my opinion, playing better than the 49ers. And the 49ers who had a dominant victory of the Jaguars. Now I don't want to take anything away from the 49ers, but the Jaguars' offense has been very inconsistent all season. If you paid attention, Trevor Lawrence has not played good football at all this season. He's played average, like B- level football. But because he's the chosen one, he's supposed to be the second coming of Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, people don't want to talk about it. Just because your record is good doesn't mean your quarterback's playing good football. That's like the Steelers. Kenny Pickett is not playing good football at all. But the Steelers have this way of just grinding it out. They're 6-0 in one-score games. The Jaguars defense have been masking what the offense could not do. There's a lot of problems across the offensive line, not designing Calvary to get more targets. It's a big issue, and Trevor Lawrence is the leader of that issue. He needs to clean it up quick because in the next 5 games, the Jaguars have to play Titans, Texans, Bengals, Browns, Ravens. That's the next 5 games. So if the Jaguars want to actually get to the playoffs and win their division, they have to play better on offense. And the Niners are good. I don't want to take anything away from the Niners. The Niners are 6-3. They're a good team, and they're going to be a hard out when they're healthy. And Chase Young and Nick Bosa, scary on Sunday. They were a scary duo, just like they were when they were playing for Ohio State. And then we go to the Baltimore Ravens. What do we make of this team? This team is good, but is good enough? I was thinking this team was the best team in football, but this team, think about this. This team, they put up a stat. I saw this stat to where, and through 10 games in the history of the NFL, teams that have not trailed, they barely trailed all season. And the time they have trailed all season, all their teams around them are 10-0. They're 7-3. That's a problem. You can't turn the ball over late. You have to be smarter play calling the football, and you have a running game. Run the football down. Run it down their throats. Milk the clock away. This team is really good, but this is what happens. This is what's going to happen. This is why the Baltimore Ravens, I can't say they're going to win the division automatically because they play games like this, and it's usually the teams that are in the division. And if you can't win your division games, it's going to be hard to win your division at all. But those are my Week 11 takeaways. Thank you for watching and listening to the Football Corner podcast. If you actually enjoyed this episode of my rant on my Week 11 takeaways, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell. And if you also want to see more things I do outside the channel, go follow me on my social media pages at the Football Corner podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Thanks for watching. See you next time.